Now, since we know that this user underscore row is going to return an integer, either a value greater than 0 or a value equal to 0. So if it does not find any match based on this where clause or this where condition, then we're going to show an error to the user. So we use an if statement to say if the user underscore row is less than or equal to 0, then we show to the user an error. So we can create an error message. Now let's just go to one of our scripts to copy the Bootstrap alert message. We already have it, so we copy this, we go back and we paste the message. We can say email not found or email does not exist. Email does not exist. So after doing this, that is if the user row, that is MySQL num rows, is less than or equal to 0, display this error message. Else, if it does exist, that is it returns a value greater than 1, then we are going to fetch some data from the sign up table for the user. So what we are going to be fetching is, we are going to fetch the user email and the user activation key. So we can do this, or we can do this by using a while loop. So we create a variable row, set it equals to the MySQL fetch array method, fetch array, which will take in the query. Then since we are looping through, we are going to get the user email and the user activation key. So we'll say user underscore email, we set it equal to row, then we pass the email in it because that is the name of the column we have in the database. Then for the key, we can say user key, then we pass in the row with activation underscore key. So now with this, if this criteria is met for that user, we'll get the user email and the user activation key. Now the next thing that we'll need to do is we need to add the code for sending the emails. We already have the code when we created the insert.php. So what we're going to do is we'll just go to the insert.php, we copy the code for it, and we paste inside the forget underscore pass. So we scroll down to where we have the code for the creating the email. We start from here, we copy down to this part. So we copy that and we paste inside the forgot underscore password. After the closing brace for the while loop, we paste it in there. Then we can just uncomment all of this. We uncomment them all. But for this part, we add the comments. Now, what we're going to do is just similar to what we already have before. But for this, we're going to just change the message. We're only going to change the message we're going to be sending to the user. Now, as you can recall, here we are sending the message through Gmail. Now, this set username is the email account whereby you are sending the email from. Then in here, you can include the password you use for this email. Then here's the subject head, which is the head of the email, that the message that the user will see. Then the email is coming from this address by this user. This is the name of the user that is sending the email to this email, which is this one we are getting from here, or this email we are getting from the input field. That is what we are passing in here. We have the body, then this message variable that we have here, we don't have a message for it, So we'll create a message for this up here. But first, let's indent this properly. So we indent this. Then at the top of this, we can also create the message. So I can indent this properly here. Then we create the message variable, which is this that we have here. What we're going to be passing in here, we're going to create it at the top. So I already have it written somewhere, so I will just copy and paste it in here. So we paste it inside here. Now this is the message that we have here. It's the same as we had before when we did for the insert.php, but now in this case we're going to be changing this. So we are using CRUD user. So we change this to CRUD user, then reset_password. So this is the page that they will be taken to when they click on this link in their email address. When they click on this link, they'll be taken to the reset_password.php. Now here we're saying follow this link to reset your password. This is the link. Then we are passing in the user_key, which is the user activation key. So while we are doing this is we're going to use a get super global or get request to get this key. So if this key that we get from the address bar, which is the activation key, it matches the key in the user database, then the user will be able to update their password. Otherwise, they will get an error. So this activation key will be displayed on the address bar. So when they click on the link, they will see reset_php. Then key equal to the activation key. So we'll get the activation key. So after doing this, this message is then passed into the body as this, and we are displaying it as HTML. Then we'll create a variable results which will hold the message when it is sent. Then this statement here says if it's not results, that if it fails, then a message will be displayed. Otherwise, a success message or an alert info message will be displayed to the user. So the next thing we need to do is we need to create these variables as global variables. So we are using just 3 variables. So say global error fail info. Yes, we'll check. Those are what we have. We have the error, we have the fail, and here we have the info. So we've been able to add the script and also the code for that will send the email to the user. Now in the next video we'll see how we can put all this and see how it works.